This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun and State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. Now they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners are 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
In search of something here after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Bradford getting his guys ready. Here's Bradford. And that is incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Ellington now to return it. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. The first carry now for Alex Collins. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Tackle made there by Buda Baker.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. A right side catch by Crabtree. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. Carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now it appears appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
From the gun, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Will Tye with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
All right, here we go.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Michael Crabtree with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set, In racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Sam Bradford heading back out as he and his offense get ready to go again. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. 1 play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. And I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one. And what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. First down carry here for Johnson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 16 carries, 66 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Second down, Bradford. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, Bradford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. Able to slither by. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here we go.
They'll run the counter with Collins. And an alley to run. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Now Collins. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out.
Here we go. 3-19.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Bradford on 2nd down. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They pitch it out to Johnson. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bradford. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a handoff, Johnson, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. And his throw is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Bradford from the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And his kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 2nd down, Jackson forced out to his left. And he fights through one man. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They were trying to go to Marshall that time, and it's 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Sam Bradford heading back out as he and his offense get ready to go again. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions, but he's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
To throw on 2nd down. Bradford. And he finds Malcolm Mitchell here. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory, and that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch. On 3rd down, Johnson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Going to throw again. Buying time to his left. Crabtree with it over the middle. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch.
Here we go now.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. On first and goal, Collins. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And they give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Over! Detroit!
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hayden Hurst hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Now let's go.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He finds Crabtree for the completion. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Jackson. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Now let's go.
To throw again, Jackson. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this 1st half of play.
And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Jackson, operating from the gun. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. So we have reached halftime. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They go again with Collins. A beautiful fake. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go now.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And that's complete. It's Allington. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
All right, here we go.
Now Jackson to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the... That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 47 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Ravens on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd and goal, Collins. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Alex Collins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Bradford. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Johnson on the counter. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Bradford. Dumping it off for Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. To throw is Bradford. Screen play, Johnson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. and it worked very well there for a first down.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Again, it's Johnson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. Working out of the gun, Bradford. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now Bradford. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
3rd and goal, Bradford. That is caught at the 7-yard line. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And his kick is indeed good. And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get through.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And here's Marshall. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was put. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Flushed out right. Caught. It's Ellington. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another 1st down as well. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Here's Collins. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On second down, Collins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Caught by Snead over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Willie Henry in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Underneath for Johnson. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Cardinals on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Throwing, Bradford. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. This is Collins on the handoff. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
On 2nd down, it's Dixon. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll try and run forward with Collins. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Here's Bradford. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Willie Henry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Third and long for Bradford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Ellington. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think...
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. On 3rd down. That's Marshall. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never win no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Baltimore, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.